Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and welcome to the next puzzle in the Hamilton Sudoku series. This is That Would Be Enough by Eliza Hamilton. This is from a very tender moment in the show where Hamilton is struggling with what are his duties in life, and Eliza, his wife, is basically just trying to tell him that being a family man, just being there for his family would be enough. But he's struggling with what he wants to achieve, what he's trying to do for his country, fighting the war of the revolution, and just trying to make everything happen, struggling with his great intellect and all of his ambition. It is a struggle that everyone fights, and it's just trying to be calming, and then everything starts going nuts when he gets called back to the front lines. But it's a beautiful moment of you don't need, where Eliza is basically saying, you don't need to achieve everything for me to love you. And it's a nice message where all of the people, anyone who is like, I'm not good enough, I don't do enough, I don't earn enough. It's like, sometimes people can just be there for each other, and that's a message that I think doesn't get told enough. So I'm really glad this song is in the musical. Um, of course, it then gets followed up with one of the most energetic and adrenaline pumping moments in the show that goes for about 20 minutes. And at the end of that, it's like, what was she saying? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have there, and I'm glad it's there. So, if you're not interested in the musical or musicals at all, please just enjoy the puzzles. That's what these are for. And they're set anonymously because at the beginning we weren't sure how many people would be involved in this. I still don't know, and it's a cool way of having the series be done, where I can present these puzzles. They were created for a time, and still kind of is a time, when I didn't know how much time I would have to record, and I wanted to keep bringing content, and my life was kind of revolving around two things, one of them being the musical Hamilton. So it was a beautiful thematic thing to do, and we are looking at other series to do as well. We should have some information hopefully soon for how people who would like to contribute to these series can get involved. I'm working with the people who have been communicating with me on this, because I'm not involved very much with the creation of these. On how people can say, what are you working on? What is a pack you're working on? And can I contribute a puzzle? Can I get involved? So people who are interested in doing that, there'd be a way of reaching out for that. But I don't have that detail yet because I'm not involved in the creation of all of this. Let's have a look at this puzzle, shall we? That Would Be Enough by Eliza Hamilton. So this has got a simple rule set, but one that always terrifies me. But I've been told this one is on the easier side, at least for this rule set. So let's see how we go. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We then have little killer. So the clues outside the grid show the sums of the digits along the indicated diagonal. So if I use this 6 clue, for example, along those digits, the sum of all of those digits will be 36. And digits can repeat along that diagonal if allowed by other rules. So for example, I could have 2 9s on this. Those two digits will sum to 16. Needless to say, I cannot repeat digits along those because those are in the same box. That would not work. Now, there's an interesting thing to note about the solving in Sven's Sudoku pad, which is there is an option in here, if I can figure out what it is, which is calculate sum cells. I'm not sure if you can see it here under advanced. If you do that and you highlight a bunch of cells, it will show you the sum of those cells. So if you've got a bunch of cells with numbers in them and you highlight them, it will tell you what the sum of the known cells is. So you can actually do math on known digits pretty quickly if you decide to use that. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So there's some 5 clues here, and I think they're incredibly restricted because the minimum I can put into these is 1, 2, which already sums to 3, and then I have to add 2 more cells, and the minimum I can put in those is 1, and 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. I feel like I'm quoting Clue here. I've got another one here, so this is another 1, 2 pair with 2 1s. Nope, 2 1s. Clue is a great movie, which places a 1 in the center of the grid because I've got 4 1s seeing that. So that's cool. 1 is in one of those and one of those, but that's not helping me yet. Well, it means that this 8 can't be a 1, 7, but well, hang on. This 8, it can't be 1, 7 or 2, 6, and it can't be 4, 4. So this is 3, 5. Now, this 7 clue, the minimum here is 2. The minimum here is 1, 2. So this is already a minimum of 3, 4, 5. And this is a minimum of 2. So these are 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are both 2, and this is another 1, 2. Okay. Now, can I do the same in reverse? Or am I too dumb for that? This is another 3, 5, isn't it? Yeah, this is another 3, 5. Now, I can see that working with the bigger digits is always tricky for me. So this has a maximum of... So I've got 2 here. So these have to get to 34. Now, 34 divided by 2... 15 plus 2 is 17. And 17, there's only one way to make that, is 8, 9. So these both have to be 8, 9. Because if I add all of that together, I get to 36. 1 plus 8 plus 9 is 18. 18 plus 18 is 36. So these have to be 8s and 9s. I imagine this is forced all over the place. I'm just not very good at this. So there's a 3 in one of those two because of I've got the 3 taken up in this row and in this row. Is it this 16? These have to sum to 14? Yeah, it is, isn't it? These have to sum to 14. But the minimum I can put here is 3, 4, which is 7. And the minimum I can put here is 3, 4, which is 7. So these have to be 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. Which means these sum to 8. Sorry. These have to be 3 or 4 because these now sum to 8 and these now sum to 8, being the complete minimum they can be. That sums to 16, but 3 can't be here because of the 3, 5 pair. So that's the 4, that's the 3. So what clues have been done? So I can say that this 16 clue is done, this 7 clue is done, this 8 clue is done, this 5 clue is done, this 8 clue is done, this 5 clue is done, and this 36 clue is done. This is a bit weird. These sum to 14 to 15. And yes, I am using the sum calculator because 6 plus 8 is 14, 6 plus 9 is 15. So I need another 20. The maximum I can put in here, no, that's okay, because the maximum I can put in here is 6, 7, which is 13. And this would need to be 7, 8, or 9. That's okay. So that's not the place to look. Now, a 16 actually is forced, isn't it? Because I can't use 8, 8. This is 7, 9. I should have done this before. These are 7, 9. Which means the 7, 9 looks into the middle, making this the 8 and this the 9. It's the same as down here. I just completely missed the 16 clues. So those 16 clues are done. The only clue... Wait a minute, I meant to mark this. The only clue that's not done now are the 35 and the 21. But the 21 is probably done because this now has a... Actually, I'm not sure it is. I feel there's a lot of ways of making the 21 and the 35. That is a 7 though, isn't it? Because I can't put 7 in any of those or any of those. So that is a 7. So what is this? Because these are 2, 6, 7, and 9. So this is 2 or 6. This is a maximum of 6. 6, 7, and 8 is... I am terrible at math. If this was 6, those would sum to 21. These would need to sum to 15. So if this is a maximum digit, these would need to be 15. Can I get them to 15? This would have to be 2, 4, and 9, wouldn't it? Because I need to get these to 15. The maximum these can be is 2 and 4, which is 6, and this would need to be a 9. This has to be a 6, this has to be a 2, this has to be a 4, and this has to be a 9. And these should now sum to 36, which they do. These had to be maximum. That makes this the 3. That 9 makes this the 8 and this the 9, which looks up making that the 7 and that the 9, which looks back making that the 7 and that the 9. Now, did that 4 see anything? Not phenomenally. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 go in those. These now sum to 15, but there's still a bit of leeway there. This is a triple now, which I'm prepared to mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Well, there's no 9 there. 9 is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. So 9 is right there by Sudoku and not there. So that's a 6, 7 pair, making that the 9. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 is in one of those. And those aren't 6. That's a 7, 8 pair. That's the 6. That's the 7. And these 6 plus 9 is 15. So this is getting me to 22 or 23. These need to sum to 12 or 13. 7. Doesn't that mean I need to use a 7? These need to sum to 12 or 13. Because 15 here, so these need to sum to 20. If this is an 8, these need to sum to 12 without using an 8 or a 9. I can't use 6, 6, so I need a 7. If this is a 7, these need to sum to 13 without an 8 or a 9. I have to use 7, 6. So there must be a 7 in those, and I can't put the 7 there. This is a 7. So these now are 6, 13, 22. These have to sum... Hang on. These are 22. These have to sum to 13, which is 8, 5, or 7, 6. Seven is in one of those two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But there's no 4 there. This is a 6 or an 8 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, or 8 only. This 35 is not quite done. Seven is right there, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. There's no 8 there. So these sum to, what was it, 13, I think. Yeah. And the 21, it may just be me that's having trouble with this at the end. So this is 11 or 12. So this is 9 or 10. I can't use... If it's 10, I can't use 1, 9 or 3, 7. I could use 2, 8 or 4, 6. If it's 9, 1, 8 is possible. 2, 7's not. 3, 6 is possible. 4, 5 is possible. There's a lot of options there. So I can see 3 is in one of those. This is a 2, 3 pair. Because 2 and 3 can't be in those or that one. So this is a quadruple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. But that can't be 5 or 6. So this is 4 or 8. And it's 4 because of that 8. So this is 5, this is 4. And this is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that 5 means that's not a 5. That's a 6, 8 pair. So 1, 2, 3, that's a 4. This is a 2 or a 3 now, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 2 or a 3. I am not grokking this puzzle. I can see 3 is in one of those two. I'm wondering if to start colouring 1s and 2s. Because these still sum to 9 or 10, but there's lots of ways of doing that. I've still got 1, 8, 2, 8, 4, 6 is now gone, 4, 5 is now gone, 3, 6 is still available. So because this isn't resolved, this still has at least 3 options, maybe 4. Is there a restriction in this column? Not really. One of these is 2 or 3. I'm not sure colouring is going to help much. So all of these, this is 7, 6 or 8, 5. So if this is 8, this is 6. So if this is 8, this is 8, this is 8. This might be restricted. 1, 2, 3, it's 4, 5, 6, or 8. No. It started off with everything being forced, and now this has a lot of options. This is down to 2, but this is down to, I think, 4. Am I casing this? So if this is 5, these now have to be 10. So I can't use 1, 9. I could do 8, 2. Can't do 3, 7. And I can no longer do 4, 6. So that's if it's 5. If it's 6, then these have to sum to 9. I could do 8, 1. Can't do 2, 7. Could do 3, 6 in either order. And I can no longer do 4, 5. So that's what I've ended up with. Well, that's not 3. So that was, oh, crikey. So 3 means that couldn't be 6. So this is 6 or 8. It's giving me a 6, 8 pair in the column. So this is 1, 2, 3, or so this is a 1, 2, or 3 because it's 1, 2, 3, or 5. And that now, and it can't be a 5. So this is now a 5. This is the 3. That's a tricky spot. That's 5. That's 3. That's not 5 anymore, giving me a 6, 8 pair, making that 5, which makes that 6. The 6 here means that, what's this sum to? This is 6 plus 15, 22 plus 6 is 31. To get to, hang on, no, I've broken that. This is no, it's not. 15, 22 plus 6 is 28. To get to 35, I need another 7. Is that right? Yes. Now that 7 has made that 8, which makes that 6, which makes that 7. The 6 looks up making that 8. Now these are 12, 20. I need to get to 21. So that's now the 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 1, which makes that 2, which makes that 1. That's not 1 or 2 anymore. That's the 3, which makes that 2, which makes that 3, which makes that 2. That casing was very weird. These are 1, 2, 3, and 5. That 3 makes that 5 and 3. The 35 clue is now done. The 21 clue is now done. And I should now just be down to Sudoku. This row 1, 2, 3 needs well, the 3 means this is the 3, this is the 6, which makes this the 8, this the 6, this the 8, this the 6. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. There's no 8 in either of those, so that's the 8. This 5 looks up making that 4 and that 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 6, of course, will make that 2 and that 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 5 makes that 4 and that 5. This column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go into those. And I'll use the 7 to make that 8 and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 9. And I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 and 6, and now I can resolve it because 4 and 6, the 4 looks back making 9 and 4. The 9 means that's the 9, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is the correct solution to that would be enough. Whew! That was tricky. That was quite tricky, and of course I did manage to figure out that 36 clue. I just didn't put an X on it. That resolution up here was, yeah, definitely a ramp up in difficulty. That definitely jumped from sort of a 1.5 to a 2-star puzzle well into the 3-star range to my mind. That's just the way I see it. That sort of jump in curve is always a bit weird. I mean, I like it when a puzzle has a ramp up, but a jump is weird. Um, always, always good to be pushed though. So that was a lot of fun. It sort of does feel like the way it goes. It's like always a nice, gentle thing, and then at the end, it's like here you go. It's like off to war. I mean, that kind of happens in the next song. It's like because you go straight from that would be enough into guns and ships. Yeah, that's an escalation. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do hope you're enjoying the series. We're almost done now. I think there's 7 left. So yeah, we're getting to the end, and yeah, it's been a heck of a journey. Hamilton has been a huge part of my life for a long time, and it was very sad to say goodbye to the show, and yeah, even the end of this series is going to be a bit sad for me, but we'll see how everything goes. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.